Brawl Stars is a game full of fun and diverse brawlers with all sorts of unique personalities and abilities. In fact, with 7 unique classes and 90 brawlers to choose from, there are bound to be some that are really fun to play, while others, yeah, there's some stinkers in there. So which brawlers are the most fun to play, as well as the least fun to play in each different class? And let's start out with the tanks, and one of the most fun tanks, and that's Daryl. Now as a tank, Daryl is set up to, well, take damage. I know, shocker, but what if I told you that he's able to not only fulfill his role as a tank, but as an assassin too? And everybody knows that we all love to play assassins. Now, not only can he pull off both of these, but he excels in both roles. Get it? He's really good at doing both, okay? He has high health, insane damage, and a super that charges itself. Oh, and that self-charging super can be used not once, but twice. So yeah, you get 2 assassin-like supers that he uses to fling himself across the map at will. Now, the ability to support your team, not only in the tank role, but also make game-changing assassin plays, makes Daryl an absolute blast to play with. Now, nobody enjoys getting rolled on by Daryl, but you know something that people hate even more than that? Getting jumped on by an Edgar, who is coming in on our list as the most fun assassin brawler. Now, hold on just a second, put your pitchforks down. Edgar has high damage. Check. Insane mobility. Check. He has a self-charging super. Check again. And as if all of that weren't enough, his attacks heal himself for the portion of his damage that is dealt. Now, a good Edgar player, it sounds like it's irony, but yes, they are out there, will be able to use that self-charging super to absolutely destroy you and have a ton of fun doing it. And that's not even mentioning the special trait that Edgar has, where if you're playing against him, his stats are boosted by like 20 to 40%. But if he's on your team, well then they're reduced by like 100%. Maybe that's not true, but it definitely feels like that sometimes. Now, Edgar may have a bad habit of leaving you in the dust when he's your teammate, but what if I told you there was a brawler that could assassinate enemies and bring you with him? Sounds pretty awesome, right? Well, Gray does just that, and he is my pick for the most fun support brawler. Now, Gray is in an interesting position. He's a support brawler with high damage and the range of a marksman and the super of an assassin. Now, if you're thinking, that sounds fun to play, well, you would be right. Playing with Gray is literally just a countdown to his super because once you get it, there is no hiding from you. As Gray, you not only support your team with teleporters, but you can reliably counter anyone, anywhere, anytime. Oh what, a Colt's about to get away? No, I don't think so. Thrower sitting behind a wall? Whatever. Is there a bull just camping in a bush? Yeah, well, actually, that one's not a good idea, but I mean, you get the point. And if you really want to drive people crazy, just take Gray into like dueling beetles with 2 tanks with you, and you just teleport in the middle, and then it's non-stop tanks in your face for the entire game, which would make anybody wish that they wouldn't play Brawl Ball instead. Another cool thing about Gray is that he barely makes a peep, just his finger guns, you know? He's always just there, chilling, keeping his cool. But you know who else is pretty cool? And that's Lou, who takes the cake for the most fun control brawler. Now, Lou's one of those brawlers that just makes you chuckle because, honestly, half the enjoyment really just comes from knowing the rage that you're causing your enemies. Oh, what? You thought you were going to go down the lane? Nope. Oh, I see you activated your hypercharge. It'd be a shame if you were frozen. Oh, you want to capture the hot zone. How about a little nice ice skating instead? Playing Lou makes you realize how fun and easy Brawl Stars can be if you're able to make your opponents take a chill pill. Perhaps make them cool off. Alright, I'll stop. Lou's a perfect example of how chill guys can be really fun to be around. But you know who else can be really fun to be around? Party people. And who knows a better party person than the party bro Surge himself? Now Surge, he's not just a brawler, he's a vibe. You know that when you're playing Surge, it's going to be a fun time. And on top of that, if your opponent makes a mistake of playing a tank, well, it's basically a guaranteed win. Surge literally has it all. He's got the voice lines, the range, the damage, the super. He's so cool that honestly, we should be brothers. Take it easy, bruh. Now sure, it's a bit of a grind to get Surge to full strength, but honestly, that's kind of half the fun. The feeling from going from one of the weakest brawlers in the game to arguably the best brawler in the game over the course of a match is satisfaction like no other. Unless your opponent specifically built a team to counter you, Surge will always be a fun pick, and for now, the obvious pick for the most fun damage dealer. Now, I know that plenty of you are probably tired of facing Surge and want a good counter that's not boring. May I present Brock. Brock is topping out as the most fun brawler in the marksman class for good reason. Now, Brock's main attack makes him super fun to play, mainly because you don't even really have to hit the brawler directly, you just gotta be close. Brock's ability to lock down a lane and slowly push back enemy sharpshooters is second to none. Except for maybe Nani, but we're not counting her. And it makes you feel like you're an unstoppable force marching down the field, straight up T-8000 terminating people. But I haven't even gotten to the best part yet. His super. If his area control wasn't good enough already, imagine thinking that you finally found an opening when suddenly the sun is blocked out by a rain of rockets. It is unbelievably satisfying to watch said super obliterate your enemies and just cause carnage. You know who else was built for Michael Bay level explosions and carnage? Dynamite, who is our pick for the most fun artillery brawler. Now, his attacks, while somewhat difficult to land, do insane amounts of damage. 3,200 to be exact, which is more than Shelly at point blank range. That means that if you're able to land your shots, you will be absolutely dominating the map. And listen, let's be honest with ourselves for a minute. Using his stun gadget, it's just fun. Hey, don't you look at me like that. You like it too, as long as you're not the one being stunned. And if you're a true menace, you can equip his star power to deal even more damage with his super, or if you just want to have even more fun, equip his other star power and jump around like a white guy doing the Macarena. And yes, I do this. So those are the most fun brawlers in each class. Now, let's take a look at the other side, the ones that are not quite as fun. And the unfortunate brawler that starts us out here is the least fun take, and that's Jackie. I mean, seriously, does anybody have fun playing Jackie? Her entire gameplay is spawning in, running close to an enemy, and then spamming auto aim. That's it. There's no leading shots, there's no special jumps, there's no dashes. It's literally just a circle around her that deals damage when you tap auto aim. In fact, one of the best strategies for Jackie is to literally just get behind a wall and wait. That's her strategy, if you can call it that. Not to mention that in a meta full of brawlers that can absolutely shred or stun tanks, she's borderline useless. And even in moments where she is good, she's just boring. Every play that she makes follows the same basic 3 steps. 1, activate your gadget. 2, get super close to an enemy. 3, auto aim over and over and hope for the best. Yeah. No thanks. Now, as boring as Jackie is, at least she can actually use her attacks. Unlike our next brawler, Miko, who spends most of the match reloading. Miko comes in as the least fun assassin brawler for a handful of reasons, and as you may have guessed, the biggest being his painfully slow reload speed. It's so bad that if you don't manage to quickly take down your opponent, you're just stuck doing your best to just waddle away alive, which you probably won't make it. And I know what you're thinking. You're like, Lex, what about his star power? For some reason, I just have imagined that's how you speak. And I gotta say, sure, yeah, that star power helps, but what happens if you miss your first jump? Congrats, you are now a free kill. And that's not to even mention how absolutely useless his hypercharge is. Now, on paper, stunning an enemy when you land sounds pretty awesome, right? But you waste all of your hypercharge buffs because you're in the air the entire time. So essentially, it's a dynamite gadget at a hypercharge price. Yeah. So just to recap, one of the worst reload speeds in the game, damage is just okay, his health is and he has a useless hypercharge. Yeah. Good job, Miko. Next, we have a brawler who just, no matter what you do, she's just not fun. And it pains me to say this, but the least fun support brawler is Pam. And trust me, it hurts me more than it hurts you for Pam to be here, but I just couldn't justify anybody else taking the spot. Now, the reason why you play Pam is because, in theory, she's this super powerful, immovable object, but that's just not the reality. Her special feature, her healing station, it's kind of a disappointment. Its range is really small, and it's unbelievably easy to take out. In fact, most of her games go something like this. You grind out to get your super, and then you find a decent spot to put it down, and then it gets destroyed, and you're back to square one. So unless you just want to play her for your own personal reasons, which, I mean, come on, that's a valid reason, but I would just avoid her just completely until she gets some sort of buff to make her more worthwhile. Now, as we found out, just because a brawler is good doesn't mean that they're fun. The least fun control brawler is Meeple, who is a perfect example of just that, because he's a pretty good brawler, but is absolutely not fun. I mean, seriously, have you tried Meeple? His attack and his super are both pretty good, but playing him is just slow. Like, doing anything with Meeple just feels like a drag. For starters, if you miss his shots, which don't have much range by the way, you're stuck with a super slow reload speed. It's even been buffed twice now, and it's still slow. And I mean, sure, he does some really good damage and his shots home in on target so you can get some easy hits, but even doing that, are you really having fun? Watching your teammates on the left and right just completely pop off and have a good time while you're stuck there just trying to reload. Yeah. Watching fun happen that you can't participate in gets old, but you know what's even worse than that? Spending the first 15 seconds of a match just trying to waddle yourself into the action. And that is exactly what playing 8-bit is like. Just like Meeple, 8-bit is a really good brawler, just not that fun. Even though 8-bit isn't a damage dealer class, you've got to get up the field in time to even make any damage happen. Playing 8-bit feels like before the match started, BB just came along and smacked him in the legs with her bat, and now he can't move. The unfortunate reality of 8-bit is this. You spawn in, you spend 3 years trying to get into the fight, and then you get unlucky and die. And guess what now? You have to do it all over again. I mean, yes, he does deal some wild damage, and is a good brawler, and that's plenty of reason to play him, but in a fast-paced game like Brawl Stars, moving at the pace of an 80-year-old is just not that fun, and that's why he's here. Now, I know I keep mentioning that slow brawlers are boring, but it's no different for Bonnie, who is the least fun for the marksman brawlers. Bonnie, just like 8-bit, has crazy slow movement speed, mediocre reload speed, and on top of all of that, unlike 8-bit, her damage just doesn't make up for it. In fact, pretty much the only way you're ever going to reliably get kills with Bonnie is when you use your cannon to assassinate brawlers. But Lex, I hear you say, throwing yourself across the map with a cannon sounds super fun, and yeah, it does. Except that her range in her normal Bonnie form is pretty abysmal, and so is her health. So what happens, more often than not, is that you assassinate the one target you were going for, and then immediately just get taken out. I want to like Bonnie, like really I do, but one pop-off moment in between getting bodied over and over again, that's just not fun. Now, slow movement and reload speed is a pain to deal with, but so is just overall slow gameplay, which is exactly why Barley is our top, and by that I mean bottom pick of the artillery brawlers. Now in reality, things aren't all that bad for Barley, but compared to his fellow throwers, he's just kind of bland and frankly sort of outdated. His boring gameplay is almost entirely the fault of his main attack. While it does some decent damage and has an okay range, his attacks do take a minute to fully set in, and rarely do you get more than one tick of damage. The big nail in the coffin though is the sad fact that Barley just kind of feels weak. He's not really that weak, but he kind of feels that way. With most other throwers, you get a sense of superiority like, yeah, that's right, that's my lane, get out of my lane. But with Barley, it's more like, please, kind sir, will you please get out of my lane?
Oi, why are you disrespecting me, bruv? My mistake, original gangster.
Barley, of course, like most every other thrower, gets destroyed by aggression, but unlike most of his fellow artillery brawlers, he has almost no way to defend himself. Except for when like he pees the weird slimy goop on the ground, and then you still probably are gonna die, but like the other dude's just slow, and so you watch the slow guy beat you. That's about as good as it gets for Barley. All of that makes for a brawler that, while he's not completely boring to play, he's definitely the least fun of all the throwers. So there you have it, the most and the least fun brawlers of every class. Don't roast me too hard in the comments, okay? Or do. It's there for you.